development of milestones from 0 to 8 years of age. And it is very important for us to understand, because you will notice that all over the world they have found that more than 250 million children have not attained their potential. So what is happening in India? You know how much percentage of children under 5 have not achieved their development potential. It is between 40 to 42% of the children in our country have already not developed, got their development potential. So enabling a child to get that potential under 5 years of age, it is the birthright of each and every child. So what is it that we have to make an attempt? We have to see that they get the best start in life. It's very simple. You have to coordinate with different sectors. That means health sector, nutrition sector, then mothers, OBGY sectors, community. All have to work together so that the child gets its full achievement. So whenever we talk of early child development, you ask any parent what you expect from your child. And each and every mother or father or a family will tell you what they want is a healthy child. They want an intelligent child. They want a very bright and smart child so that he can establish himself for the future. And over the market we are seeing sale of food products where on the box you will see that will be written that the child will become stronger, healthier and brainy. Obviously, if you still look on the board, you will see that majority of them, the age that is written over there, if you look at the boxes over there, the age which is written over there is either 2+ or it will be written 2 to 5 years old. So what is happening to a child between 0 to 2 years? And it is very important to know that it is the 1000 days which is the most important period where the brain is going maximum. So you can see what is happening in India. You can see that dot which is between 40 to 60%. Can you point out there? Yeah. And that is what is happening in our country. That already 42% of our children have already failed their development potential under the age of 5 years. And this period is really very important as it lays down the foundation for the future of that child. If you can pick up any developmental delay and you can refer that child to a center where some intervention can be done, then it will bring about positive health for the child. Even the family and the community can take care of it, and you can prevent the intergenerational problem that can. So the first 5 years is very, very important. It's a vulnerable period for the children under that age if there is any delay in those children. So what we are now looking at, all the time we have been looking at survival. What is the IMR rate? How many children die? How many newborns die? How we can approach that is seen first in the first 1000 days, which starts from day 1 of conception and it goes on till the child is about 2 years of age. This period is really very important. It is a critical period where intervention can be done so that you can see that any child has any problem. And most important is this is a period where the child is growing physically and also psychosocially and emotionally. What other thing happens in this period of 1000 days? The organs are being formed in the child. And the most important one is the brain and the functions of the brain. So if you pick up any defects during that period, that means you can give a preventive, promotive as well as interventional therapy so that the child can at least be brought down to a range of development. Also you know that the fetus is growing in the mother's womb. Who supplies food and all to the baby is the mother. The mother is the seed and the soil, and she is the one who provides nutrition, of course via the placenta. Also she provides warmth. Her raw body temperature is 37 degrees. Also the uterus is a very compact bag. There is no windows, there is no AC, nothing. But the amniotic fluid which covers the baby beautifully and keeps the baby warm. The baby also gets oxygen. And the most important thing is an aseptic environment which is around. So this 1000 days where the parents are taking care of this child, This establishes the future of that child from birth to the adult stage. Also, what is important for the baby is the mother's health, mother's nutritional status, mother's well-being, and very important is the mother's health state. Her mental status. This is one thing we must remember. During the time, the first conception when it starts, that is what you should know about the mother. During pregnancy and throughout lactational period, we have seen it is already established not only the survival of the child, but also the growth and the development of the child. So that is a very, very important and a very crucial period where you should first see how the intervention takes place. So you see the different phases of the child development. This is the embryonic phase which you see over here. This is the embryonic phase. This is the fetal stage and this is the baby. Just before birth, you can see already the baby is born. Then you see the baby at birth. He is already anxious to know what this world is around him. Then you see the infant stage and the toddler stage, that is the 2 years. And one of the most important phase is the preschool phase. Please remember, in this period, there is no taxing the baby's brain. He's staying, he's exploring the world, he's trying to see what is around, what are the birds doing, what are the animals doing, what is my mother doing, what is my father doing, what is around. He's playing, and by playing he is learning. And that is very important for us to understand that the preschool phase, nobody should teach the child and what is addition and what is subtraction. Let him play and let him learn by that. I'll give you a very good example. Everybody loves cricket. I don't know if you all love cricket. And many of you are very fond of Sachin Tendulkar. And Sachin Tendulkar in his youth, that is what he told me himself, they were living in a chawl and he used to get, as a child, he loved to play bat and ball. And he said that he developed that, and when he went to school and he went to college, he went to the Oval Maidan, which is in Bombay, and he started playing cricket in the open with his friends. And that is what made him learn something. So you learn to play, you learn to solve problems on your own. I don't like to play in this place is very small, I want to go to a bigger place. But that is the preschool learning phase. So whenever we talk of a child, and we will say growth and development, everybody makes these two things go together. But please remember, growth is a measurement of some mass. It's a measurement. So you will do anthropometry. Like if I say, is this child malnourished? So you will tell me the weight is this, the height is this, the UIK is this, and that is what the anthropometry, or that is growth. So what is development? Development actually is an intervention between biological system. What is biological system? Anybody can tell me? What do we mean by biology? Please remember, this is not biology as far as the plant goes and this goes, like botany and all. But actually biology is the brain development, gene, interaction of gene, brain and the environment which the child is living in. So he gets a very good emotional interaction, and then he meets the environment which is the parent, and what is ECD very honestly is parenting. And unless and until the parent and the child, that interaction is very well taken, and the community in which the child is living, that is exactly what happened over here in the development phase. So let us see what is brain doing. When you talk of development, please remember it depends upon the integrity of the brain, and what is positive environment and what is negative environment. These are the ones which really influences the development of brain. The positive environment is the nurturing care. It is how you love your child, how you play with your child, how you talk, his health is alright, basic nutrition is alright. So various factors are there. And also you will see the negative environment is anything harms the child, any biological problem like malnutrition is gone down. You will see the child who was playing around very beautifully, he becomes thin, he doesn't want to eat. So these are biological factors. And if a child there is poverty, or if there is any emotional stress, he goes straight into depression and anxiety. So these are the factors, negative and positive. The positive factor improves the development of the brain by synaptogenesis. The negative factor, negative is, and so the negativity 25% or the wiring goes down if there is negative influence. So we know that brain is a combination of nature through nurture, and scientifically we know that brain develops, grows rapidly from conception in the first 3 years of life by genes and epigenetic factors. But for the brain, it requires nutrition, stimulation, and the gene factor. They all interact with each other, and unless that is present, the brain won't grow properly. And you can see at the time of birth, the baby has already got 100 billion nerve cells, the neuron, 100 billion nerve cells. And with good stimulation, good nutrition and all, there are 1 million connectivity, what you call synaptogenesis, per second in the first 1,000 days of the child's life. So the 2 years, the child's development is very, very important. After that, there is connectivity. It's not that it stops, but there is only 1,000 neural connections per second with stimulation. So what we are trying to tell you is this is a very important period. 1,000 days, do not miss. What the child achieves at that 1,000 days, it goes on till his adulthood. So if there is any negative thing and you don't take care of a child in that part, then you will see the future of that child or the future adult will stop. So let me very slightly tell you about the brain. You can see the brain grows as a tube to begin with, over there. Then within that 100 days, you can see the tube heterogeneity. The front part becomes the brain, the forebrain. Then you get the midbrain, and you can see in the first trimester, anatomically, the brain is already gone. So you can see forebrain, midbrain, and then you see the medulla, cerebellum, medulla oblongata. But if at that period, if in the preconception stage, and in the first 3 months of the mother's pregnancy, if the child mother does not receive folic acid, 0.4 milligrams of folic acid has to be given daily. If that is not done, then you're going to get spina bifida or anencephaly, what we call a neural tube defect. So this is a preventable factor, and each and everyone who is working in the community or in the hospital should see that in the preconception stage, the mother gets, there are many other things, iron are very important, but this is for the development of the brain. After that, the brain grows, but it is smooth. You can see this factor over here. In 32 weeks, the brain is enlarging. But actually the proliferation and all takes place after 32 weeks. Now, the most important part that I want to say, when a girl gets, and when a woman gets pregnant in the early stage, everybody is very, very happy. Everybody celebrates and enjoys and eats beautiful, lovely food and gives mother all possible protein and all pistachio and calcium and all that is given. 7 months, again there is some ceremony. Again everybody pampers the mother and feeds her. After 7 months, everybody forgets about the mother herself forgets about her nutrition and health. And please remember, the brain grows maximum during that period. The baby is growing maximum in the last trimester. And if the mother's nutrition status goes down, or she has got toxemia pregnancy, or she's got some infection or something of that sort, the baby starts losing weight and the brain also does weight. So important phase is the first trimester, where the development factors are there, and the last trimester where actually the brain is growing and the baby is growing maximum. So let us see what actually is happening. You can see here that the brain is growing in utero. You will wonder what is ECD, what is the importance, or what is the goal of ECD. Now tell me, what is the goal of ECD? What is the importance of ECD?
Maternal nutrition.
So what is the outcome of ECD? What are you expecting from ECD?
Child growing to its potential.
Potential.
What do you mean by growing with potential?
Age appropriate growth, age appropriate
Not
learning.
growth. See, we are talking about development.
Development, yes.
So growth of course has to be there, but your mind should be clear. I am talking on development of this child. So the goal and the implication of ECD is brain has to develop. But what is the main thing you want to see there? You're not going to open somebody's scalp and look at the brain. But what you're looking at a child. So what are you wanting from the child?
Not to be a mere survivor,
Not to
be a mere survivor, but to reach his maximum genetic potentials.
very high thrown words. In simple words, what you look at the child
Knowing
for?
full development of the
Yeah,
brain.
full development in development of what?
Of the brain. Of the
So it is the development of the milestone. It's simple, no? Just see a child, is just sitting tight, then he's getting up, then he's walking apart, he's talking, initially he doesn't talk. He may make signs to you, he may do blah 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 blah, anything like that. But then you see he's talking, he's going to school and all. So it is the development of the milestone. All these development of milestone has their fundamental basis in the development of the brain. And that is why if a child brain is alright, his milestone, his development will be alright. So we say that the goal or the indicator of BCD is development milestone, but the fundamental thing is also development of the brain. Now look at a child in the early years. All of you, somebody of you must be having children. Anybody, all of you must be having a child or something who must have seen a child growing. Yes? Now just imagine in the first few years, imagine 2 years, how beautifully the child is trying to learn. There you can't believe the space with which the child is trying to learn. You cook something, he pick up this. You give him something, he wants that. He wants everything that is offered to him. He may drop something, but give him and he's so active. He's trying to learn every day. What new things are happening over here? There is phone here, there is some colorful thing, the TV is working, book is running, everybody is running, there's a dog running. They are never up names. They never pull the dog, they never pull the cat. That is the way they are trying to learn. That means they are exploring everything, they are picking up and they are learning everything on their own. Everything may be in front of them. Today we went to the DIC center, we saw a very wonderful Down syndrome. Beautifully, she was playing around with everything that was given to her. That is how the brain is picking up things. So as quickly the child is learning, that quickly the brain is growing. So we say that the brain growth and the child's growth is equally same. So you can see already in utero, the brain has grown adult volume by 25% to 30% of the adult brain is already grown. But the physical growth goes in between 10 to 50% or so. By 2 years, and actually 2 to 3 years, the brain is already developed to 80%. The physical growth is 50% of the adult. If an adult is 160 centimeters, the baby will be half of that at 2 years. By 5 years, 90% of the brain has grown. And you will see it continues to grow in adolescent up to adult. At the same time, there is continuous connectivity of the neurons which are going on. So now let us see, everybody talks of brain wiring, of brain cytogenesis. What actually is happening? If you look at a child in 2 years, throughout the first 2 years of the child's life, the connections goes with such a speed and complexity. This will never happen in any after that years. What the brain grows in the first 2 years, what the brain assimilates with its connectivity and complex activity, it never happens after 2 years. And scientifically it is seen that this connectivity is double the connectivity than the adult. That means your child at 2 years is smarter than an adult. He's very quick in picking up. An adult will look at something and it's a book, he's not going to pull that book, he'll pull that thing, put everything. He's trying to learn and he learns very well. But at that time what really happens is learning so many things that the brain is getting overwiring. So when there is too many things going, the brain does everything but doesn't understand the growth is not proper. Meaning the function of the brain is not as good as the wiring can take place and cooling is done. That means you refine it. If you look at the shrub, if you look at the plant which is growing, and you will see so many branches are falling on the ground, so many are growing all around. So what does the gardener do? He will go and clip those branches and keeps the center one, so the center one grows beautifully. This is the same thing which happens in the brain. These extra things which are there, they get clipped up there, it's fine. So whatever neurons, synaptogenesis has been there, they are beautifully working. So the brain after 5 years starts working as a normal, beautifully, he will understand. So when you send a child to school after that 6 years, he knows I have to go to school, I should not kill someone, I must not talk loosely, I must eat my breakfast, my mother will come and eat. So he now knows what it is. So now look at the brain at 36 weeks. It's already happening in utero, so you will wonder, how is it happening in utero? Please remember, at that time, the fetus is in the mother's womb. He is in a nice uterine, but it is permeable to the sound and the psychological, emotional that is happening with the mother. Actually, the mother and the baby are in dialogue with each other. So anything goes wrong with the mother, if she is emotionally upset, or she has got a fight with her husband, or some mother-in-law, something shouts at her that he did not cook well, that all turmoil the baby is feeling inside. Oh, today my mother is sad. Then next day they are very happy, eating very well, so everything is very fine. Means that connectivity is already there in the uterus. And as the mother is free, sometimes you will see the mother, oh my baby kicked. So something good happened and the baby gave a kick, oh I'm happy. She wanted to get up and say, but she kicked, so she knows that my baby heard me. But the baby is also learning the tempo in which the mother is feeling everything around. So when it comes out, you will see some few connectivity. This is a premature baby. But please remember, all low birth weight babies, you must talk to them. Their brain is growing. When the baby comes out prematurely outside at 36 weeks, he's got another 4 weeks to become 40 weeks. So for 4 weeks, you have to take care. What the mother did inside, gave warmth, keep the baby warm, give nutrition so the baby doesn't go into hypoglycemia, and talk to the baby, and also feed the baby, keep them warm and tender. So the baby grows, he comes out. Why these factors are few over here? Can you tell me? Why this connectivity in the first form, at baby is born, or in utero, the connectivity is less? Why? It's not as much as it is happening later on. Why? So whatever little that the baby picks up in utero, he's got it. But as soon as he comes out and you are instructed, that's what we say, talk to your baby right from birth, play with them. Mother should, it is very, very important. Please remember, somebody you have to go to work, so you will be some servant that can take care of the child. The child gets used to that person. That person removes, the child gets a setback. The child goes into my God, something is lost from my life. So this negative feeling which the baby is getting because something is taken up. We are trying to tell you, please, every parent should play with that child. I know sometimes it's very difficult. They may have, but if there is any member in the family, grandmother or uncle or aunt, get them to play with that child even when you're at home. The government has given at least 6 months leave so that you breastfeed for 6 months. Leave it again and let every member who is around with you, let them get associated with the child. So the child does not feel the loss of something. So you will now see how beautifully the interaction goes on. Look at fibers and look at the maximum confusion which is happening in the wiring. You just can't find out. Everything is like a jumble, like spider web. Everything is going on. So what really happens after that, there is moving, means refining is going on. Like this fibers, this is not working. So whatever the child needs, those fibers are kept. Then the brain starts working normally. So after 5 years, always remember, before 5 years, if you scold a child and the child hits you, don't hit him back. You just take his hand and say, we don't do such things that way, no. But be very, very careful. They can imitate you. They can do anything what you are doing. So you have to be very careful. 5 years after that, the child is now knowing what is right and what is wrong. Before that, he doesn't know what is right and wrong. So you have to be very careful how you work with them. The most important part comes now, which are called a sensitive period in the child's brain. These periods, they are time when the brain is asked to do something skill function. And what are they? When those pruning, when the fibers are very good, they are now know what is right and wrong. And that pruning initially starts with the sensory part. That is in the vision and hearing. Where does it start? It starts in the last trimester. already in the last trimester, last 3 months, 36, 37, 38, leaves 30, 40, child is knowing everything happening. He is imagining. This is such a beautiful voice. My mother is very sweet cooking. My father is also very good. They've already made that vision in their mind. And they are already hearing what is happening around. Then comes the factor of language. Please remember, a child has got expressive language and a responsive language. Expressive is how he wants to tell you. He may not talk. He said non-verbal talk. He may make some signs. He may put his hand in the mouth that I'm hungry or I'm sleeping. He makes all different ways when he is expressing to you. So you get language. After that comes the motor part. His hands are moving, his leg is moving. You can immediately make out if some deformity or something is happening at the time of birth or in the newborn child. So that is there. Then we come to the higher cognitive development. And you will see that cognitive development starts at birth. But depending upon stimuli, it goes right across, right up to the adult stage. And this depends upon the myelination of the nerve. So there is proliferation of these nerves, but the longer the myelination takes place, so we see that this cognitive development has a peak at 5 to 6 years, and it continues to go on till adolescent and adults. What a child achieves during this period, what I call as a sensitive period. This is a sensitive period where he can see, he can hear. He has got some language which is developed. He has motor which is developed. This is a period where the child has got some experience which is there. And the experience which he gets during this period helps his lifelong development of the function. So his wishes, his hearing, all these are very, very essential for the child as the child is growing over the age. So what we have to understand, the environment in which the child is moving. The environment means parenting. The parents, how they are behaving with the child, how the child is moving with the community, how we are interacting with each other. That is the environment. And the experience that we give to the child. All the other systems in the body. These are the various systems. You will only think that brain is only doing this. No, brain is developed well. You are given good environment, you are given good stimulation. The wiring goes and connects to all the systems of the body. So when we talk of the biological system, as I told you, it's the nerve, which is the brain, which is development, and it is connectivity, which the experience gives. You will find that they interact with each other. All the systems are interacting with each other. It's not only when the brain is alright or the heart is not going to work. Heart works, lung works. We are all sitting here, we are all hearing. That means all our systems are in complete contact. So if there is any environmental, there is a trigger of stress which is given to the child. What is the stress the child can get? What immune system will do is will trigger the neuroendocrine. That means the hormone, cortisol hormone goes. It will stimulate the brain. Then the brain will see that the heart level, the autonomic system is in order. Heart rate, respiratory rate, blood pressure, everything is in perfect order. And then it will have a blood energy development, all system works in order. So they all try to adapt to each other. And when they try to do that, they bring about the normality of the child's growth. So this system is very, very important for the development of the child. That is your endocrine, neuroendocrine system, your interaction with the neural tube, the neuromuscular development, and all these systems can they just spring into action. Something is going wrong, like you said, there is a fire going on. So you will all run to the road and say, who fell down, who got up. So all of us are trying to interact, trying to help. This is the same way that a child interacts whenever there is any stress which is given to the child.